issues where it won't work, and you can tell the distance. You can tell when it's not working with your stopping distance. He asked if driving garbage trucks was hard. Not necessarily. I will say this. Other people, especially four-wheelers, and just people in general around you can make it hard. That's why if you, you ever listen to us, me, Dan, Wind and Wheels, Hopper Hustle, and some of the other gentlemen that's out there doing this, we always say we keep our heads on the swivel, and you have to. You got to know what's above the truck, well, with any truck, but more so with these front loaders. You got to know what's over you at all times. Power lines, trees, any kind of overhead obstacles. As far as people go, you got to constantly be on the lookout for people walking in front of you, people trying to walk up under the cans when you're bringing them down, or even trying to drive under them. I've had that happen in the past. But yeah, that's the hardest part of it for me. As far as the operation of the truck, it's pretty simple. Straightforward. I always tell people though, it's like with front end, it's a chess game you're playing all day long. Immensely stressful. I don't like stopping on this hill far up, so I always stop back here because I got a good little load on the truck now. And put in our other address right quick. 94 Tar Boulevard. And then Clean Dash, I think 92 had asked about the pay. Now, brother, one thing about me, I don't really discuss my actual dollar amount. That's one thing I was taught by older cats a long time ago, and by my dad too. We don't actually talk about the exact dollar amount of what we're making out here. But I will say this, I'm close to $30 an hour at Pratt. I make really good money there. And most front-end drivers average between the high 20s and upper 30s. Just depending on what company you're with. As far as the hours go, it depends. The private sector, we tend to do a lot of hours and a lot of driving. So you can expect on average a 10 to 12 hour day. Legally, you can do up to a 14-hour day. But you can only do a max driving time of 11 hours. or you'll violate the federal DOT rules. So without getting too specific with pay and everything, I hope that helps. With this old girl here of my own, I will say this, it's only limited. I'm the only limitation with this, as far as I want it to go. You know, the potential money that it can make. Having your own truck, a lot comes with it, but a truck can generate a lot of money. It takes a lot of money, but they definitely can generate a lot of money. I've been there. I got up to like $30,000 a month with this truck in a little bit that I was doing with Happy Haulers and other haulers that I was working with in the beginning. Would have been up to 100K in no time, a month. So it's definitely there. I gotta buckle down and get way more serious about this than I am now. I just lost a lot of my fire after my dad passed away. I gotta get it back. The good thing is, though, a lot of my proteges have become my mentors now. It's funny how that works. My motivation. So I got guys like Will the Trash Man that I'm very thankful for. Will keeps me motivated. Man, there's so many. Aaron up in Canada keeps me motivated. He's always on me about getting cans. My brother Derek up in Canada. Derek is no nonsense. And he's on me about doing better, you know, as far as getting out here and getting customers and whatnot. It's good to have a circle like that, you know, as far as your motivation out here. I usually don't have to wear gloves, but it's pollen season and my eyes water and I got a bad habit of rubbing my eyes. I don't want to get that stuff in my eyes any more than I have to. My little glasses be covered in it. It's just funny on the spiritual standpoint aspect how God does things. If those two holes weren't there, I wouldn't be able to line up with these cans. Funny how he works. Everything works out for our good. No spiritual vitamin there. Shout out to the homeboy Josh over at Waste Management Lake City. Reggie, Ralph. Pray you guys have a great weekend. Come on, baby, give me a can. Try to tilt the forks down just enough so that right fork could go in. But you gotta be mindful of the casters because I don't want to bend those. Even though these cans are plastic, they still make a little noise. They have metal apartment complex behind those trees. There's a creek that runs behind her business. It's a big drop off, and there's a creek down there, and there's a set of apartments right there. And the neighboring business, the owner actually stays in there. So I try not to make too much noise when I get over here. Usually it's between 5 and 6 in the morning. I just try to be mindful of that. Plus, Sandy Springs is a little funny. Right here by the highway, the police don't really bother you, which is a blessing. So I'm able to come over here in the dark and get these cans, which is the best way to hit them. Because the way Phoenix and Dragon is set up, with the enclosure being right here on the side of the building, and you're on this funky hill, you gotta get over here early. But a lot of the other areas on the other side of the bridge across 285, no go. Especially the closer you get to the city of Roswell, you risk getting locked up. They do not play. Can see it, but the lights back there, those to those apartments. But yep. The gates are a little rickety. Normally I try to bring a screwdriver or something like here. I take care of little stuff like that for her. She's such a sweetheart. In her can sometimes. I don't know if you guys can see him. See, this is gonna be interesting. I don't like hitchhikers, especially that kind of hitchhiker. He's right there. get to live another day, partner. He's running along the wall now. My closest brother that passed away, he used to actually keep rats, pet rats. Man, those suckers would get big. One of the biggest ones was like that long, from tail to his head to his nose. And they were cool as a fan in a snowstorm and a blizzard, right? But he used to like to throw those rats on people. He didn't have good sense. Alright, close the top door up. Rats are cool, but they are very destructive when it comes to a garbage truck. I actually, while the truck was parked, I saw where one had been in here. So I always go to Tractor Supply. They got some real good stuff called fresh cab. When you get old, boys and girls, your mind starts to go, memory starts to deteriorate, right? Not a fun part of growing older. But yeah, that stuff works really good, and it smells good too. It's got a cedar smell. If you like wood chip smells, it smells like cedar in here. And for whatever reason, rats hate that smell. So it's a very good rodent deterrent to have. I put it behind the dash, behind the gauges, where they like to hide, especially under the doghouse. Because all your most important wiring is up under here. And I put it behind the blower motor on the passenger side. That's where they normally like to come in at, through that fresh air vent. But yeah, put that in your truck. It definitely will keep them out. Some people say dryer sheets too. They don't like that smell for whatever reason. And it'll leave your cab smelling fresh too. But with anything, you gotta change it out every so often. These usually last about, depending on the time of year, because I think the heat dries them out. But I say anywhere from a month to 3 months. So I change them out every 3 months, something like that. Summertime, I try to change them out more frequently. But they don't cost that much. I think under $20 for a box, and it comes with like 4 in them. And it's all safe and harmless to any animal, versus trying to use a poison or something. Because usually when you use those poisons, the rat will actually die in the truck, and that's a bad smell to have riding around and you're trying to figure out where he's at. I actually had that happen, because I was putting poison in them before I found out about the fresh cab. But I had one that was on the passenger side. There's a channel inside the cab that goes down towards the side turn signal right here by the doors. And there was a huge rat that had got stuck in there and died. Man, he had this truck smelling like a sewer. And the only way I could get his fat behind out was to take off my turn signal, because I narrowed it down as far as the smell where it was strongest, and I just happened to shine a light down in there. I had to pull the molding back, and I saw him down in there. Like, wow. So I had to take a pair of channel locks and pull his behind out. And I actually have a video. I don't think I actually showed pulling them out. I may have, but yeah. Rats in these trucks do not mix. But as long as you're hauling garbage, course, from that point, nobody else, you know, wanted to go after him at that point. But later on, my best friend, he was out there too. I just happened to look at my pants, and there were bullet holes in the legs of my pants. Several bullet holes. But I didn't get not one grazer, not one bullet nicked me. And all I can do is just testify to the power of Christ on that. That's why I never trust them. Still haven't mastered that like most of my out west guys. Not quite. Get it figured out one day. There's a guy that's selling his trash company, residential service he has. I don't think he has a packer that he uses to service his customers, but he's in my area. You know, I used to always think these were giant mosquitoes when I was little, those mayflies. Look like it, but yeah, there's another one in here. Will had tagged me in a recent post from that gentleman, young guy too. I think I'm actually friends with him on Facebook. he operates Stockbridge, I think McDonough, Locust Grove, in that area, which is right where I live, actually. I don't know, Will. I'm thinking about it. Me and residential, we don't really mix. I don't mind it, but I'm not a residential guy. I'm more commercial. Not saying it can't work, though. I'm open to anything. Because at one point, I actually had drew up a lot of flyers and was actually going to do residential, starting out with using my pickup as a scout, and then working my way up to a small rear loader. That was when I used to stay out in Rockdale County. Went to a lot of local barber shops and Walmarts. I got chased off from Walmart because they say you actually have that, you know, they were cool about it, but they told me you actually have to have permission from the store manager if you're gonna do something like that. So I was standing at the entrance inside the I guess you would call it the foyer, right before you go in. I know that's what you call it on a house, but maybe different with a commercial business. But yeah, doing what I had to do, passing out my flyers, leaving stacks of flyers at the gas stations. And it was funny because an owner from an actual company called me and I knew it was. He's asking all these questions. Hey, are you bonded? Are you insured? And all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah. I told my one of my friends about it. I'm like, yeah, that was kind of crazy. I guess he wanted to check out the competition. I give it some thought, Will, but front end is my thing. I'm more at home with commercial. I've done residential in the past for the cab and curbside recycling. I started off my career with United Waste back in the day, Robertson Sanitation, on the back of a truck. So my roots start in residential, but I've always been commercial at heart, you know. And I know a lot of times, with me especially, I operate in my passion. County Police. Yeah, there's a lot of potential growth out here, especially for a residential company. I actually saw a new hauler Friday out in Marietta, Southeast. It's either Southeast or Southeastern Waste Collection, small Isuzu rear loader, and it looked like it had either a PAC-MAC or a PAC-Tech body. May have been New Way. I couldn't really see. I was more concerned with the name on the side of the truck. Very clean truck. Looked like it's either new or fairly new. And the body was probably like maybe an 8 to a 10 yard body, one of those mini rear loaders. Nice setup though. would come over here earlier, but the earliest you can get these is 6 a.m. Much lately, which hey, I'm not complaining about. Cause sometimes this one will be full up. And other times it may only be a small bag. That's the cool thing about the trash business. Regardless if it's full or almost empty. Do your service and charge what you charge. Too, with that house right there, I wouldn't want to come over here too early, no way. Try to be respectful. It's actually a neighborhood right there, but that house in particular is pretty much right on this storage. Are nice. But man, something about that nasally snort and growl of an MR. Those old crane carriers and Dempsters made me fall in love with front end, but these things right here, MR, and it solidified it for me. That passion for the trash business. plastic can. Lighter, if you need to pick it up, you can. When it's empty, of course. A little cleaning cart back and we're gone. Pray that all you guys and gals have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. And of course, share your testimonies. Never keep what God has done for you to yourself. 'Cause in this life, we never know who's looking at us for that motivation. This ice water, boy, is hot. I gotta put a fan in here as soon as I can. Tell you guys and girls all the time, whatever goals and dreams you got for yourselves, whether you want to own a truck or no matter what kind, even if you just want to go out with a pickup truck and a trailer and do it, with a residential service, you know, shoot, with residential, man, you can start out with just a pickup truck.